Okay, so in this video I will show you step by step how you can increase your visibility and your FPS in Marvel Rivals if you have a low end and a mid setup. So first of all, you want to go to your settings right here. Then you want to stay on display to adjust all settings around display, graphics, and so on. So right here, I will show you step by step right now. The first option is the display mode. Right here, normally I'm playing on full screen. Right now in Marvel Rivals, I prefer to play borderless windowed because somehow the developer didn't fix the full screen mode for my setup. So in borderless windowed, I have much more fun. So select this one, then primary monitor, of course. Right here, you have your native aspect ratio and resolution. So for me, it's 1920 by 1080 and 16 by 9. Then anti-aliasing and super resolution type. Right here, you have several options. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you want to choose NVIDIA DLSS. Otherwise, select AMD FSR or turn this one off if you have better FPS then. So for me, it's NVIDIA DLSS. Then super resolution mode is for me on balanced. So my computer is good enough to have this setting on balanced. If you see some low FPS and have freezing pictures, you can lower this to performance. And if you want to decrease the graphics quality in game, you can even put this option to ultra performance to have a smooth but not that nice looking picture. Then you have this super resolution sharpening. So as you can see, higher sharpness enhances edge definition but can cause image distortion. So I have this option on default. You can play around a little bit, but I think the default is working good. So this setting is really important for Marvel Rivals. So they tried to test some things out with a new tech, but it's not working well in Marvel Rivals. So right here, make sure to have this setting turned off. Otherwise, your computer may freeze or the game lags drastically and freezes sometimes. So turn this option off. Maybe they will fix it in the future, but right now I prefer to play without the generation mode. Then low latency mode is off for me. Right here you can choose between NVIDIA Reflex low latency or off. I prefer to turn this one completely off. Then the brightness is really important. I have turned this to the maximum, so the textures are better visible. So as you can see, if we lower this, we have no advantage and this one is looking the best. And if you have turned this one to around 50, the default, the game might stutter sometimes. Then go back and now we want to limit the FPS. So normally when I'm in game, I have around 120 and 130 FPS. So I turned this FPS limiter, FPS cap to 135. So a little bit higher than my FPS that I can reach to 80, 90, 95%. So if you have a low setup and you barely reach 70, 80 FPS, but steadily get 60, 65, you want to put this FPS cap to a little lower than 70 or put it on 65. Then you want to enable or disable the show FPS option. As you can see, I have this little FPS counter on the top right. So if you're playing over Steam, you can turn this one on. As you can see, you have this little annoying FPS counter on the right side, or you can press Shift and Tab, and then you want to go to your settings on Steam in the Steam overlay, and then go to in-game, and on in-game you have right here the FPS counter while playing. So right here you can choose between top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, and we want to select top right. I think that's the best position. And right here you can also select a high contrast FPS counter. So turn this one on, otherwise this counter will be white. Then you have the network stats. I prefer to have this one on. So if something is not working and lagging, I can see if it's from the FPS or from the network. Then VSync is really important to have this option off. Game language is for me English, that doesn't matter. Then optimize settings. Right here you don't want to click on, because you will just optimize how the game thinks works best for you. So we want to customize this one and choose for global illumination the SSGI setting. So you have different options right here. You can turn this off or select SSGI to get a better performance. Right here we are for the quality, but since you are looking for a video to increase your FPS, you should choose the SSGI setting. Then the reflection quality. Right here you have several options again, so you can even turn this off or select screen space reflections. Right here the model detail is turned low, so I don't really care about the model quality in Marvel Rivals. I prefer to play a fast FPS shooter with good performance. So select low, or even if you have a small setup, you want to choose performance right here. So low for me, and right here post processing is on medium. Then the shadow details, I really don't care about any shadows in any game, so turn this one to low. Otherwise it might cause some FPS problems. So low or medium is if your setup is good enough. But for me this option is really useless. I would rather turn this option off than having low FPS. So turn this one to low. Then texture detail is on medium to have a okay picture while playing. Then effects detail is on low for me, and foliage quality as well on low. Right here you can play around a little bit, but I would increase the texture quality before I would increase the foliage and effects details. So these are the display settings. And then we can even go further to accessibility, and right here you can choose your different colors for your enemies, your allies, and so on. So these are my colors chosen. So ally color is green, enemy color is red. So as you can see in the preview to the right, you have the green and the red. Then HP bar color is on yellow for me. The shield HP color is on blue, as you can see on the right as well. And the warning color is on pink. With the warning color, I'm playing around a little bit, but that doesn't matter that much. Choose what you prefer, and then you just should have a few more FPS. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you want to see some Windows settings as well, click on this Path of Exile 2 video, and in the beginning I will tell you step by step as well for your Windows and your graphics card settings what should improve your FPS counter as well.